1,
2,
3.
There we go. What's going on, all 12 people looking at this? This is the Mistopical Podcast. I'm Alex White, and I've got my buddy Justin over here, JF Justin Fuller, and then this is my sister, Alexis
I'm
White.
Chips.
A big old bag of...
I'm not
Chips.
Alexis, I'm Chips.
Big old bag of chips.
I am the irrelevant YouTuber.
None of us are relevant YouTubers, but I mean, I at least have a following.
I have a video with 100,000 views. Let's go. And then Justin's black. Let's get this started.
No.
So,
Oh my God.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about anything right off the bat, but I actually just figured that the first thing to maybe get us started here is just some getting to know you questions, the kind of shit that your first grade teacher would hand you out on a piece of paper, or that if
Good
you're
Lord,
me, my high school biology teacher would give me on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Are we gonna Google these, or...
No,
Google
yeah,
what?
just off the top of my
Just off
head,
the
I could think
top,
of a
just
couple,
like-
right? Because, you know, just basic shit like music. What kind of music you guys listen to? Because I know I listen to a little bit of everything. Unless it's country. I don't even think I have a single country song in my entire playlist.
Yeah, I don't have a single country song either, but I also don't listen to a lot of music besides rap. I mean, obviously, I've had my fair share in, I guess, like, Imagine Dragons and, like, Fall Out Boy and stuff.
Well,
I've seen that, but
I mean,
don't really-
Mm.
I could say the same about Alex. We pretty much listen to the same shit, but I'm
Oh, don't even
No.
go there. You listen to everything
I
far off
listen.
the deep end.
Yes, I do. That's literally what I was about to say. There's not a single genre with at least one song that I don't like in it.
yeah, no. I can't do it.
I really like punk rock, and I really like anything from like the 2000s.
You listen to shit like banging a triangle against a trash can or something. Like,
Yeah,
take the
no,
most
straight.
out there thing you can imagine and then throw it
The
off a
first
cliff.
thing I thought of when you said that was mindless self-indulgence.
Man.
But see, I don't do any of that. Like literally none of that happens.
Just,
I
like,
listen
put
to
in
just
a
straight
like 2
rap
seconds.
or like new music. Like obviously, I've listened to like there's always like the classic songs that I'll always know, and then doesn't matter if it comes on, it's still gonna be.
Well, I'm
a
not.
bop.
That's not what I'm talking about. Though, really, is shit. I'm not talking about shit like something that everybody in the world knows, an absolute smash hit. I'm talking about your
Right.
playlist. Like, what do you listen to all the time? Because I know
the stuff I listen to all the time is basically just new music.
just whatever comes out.
Well, no, if I went down my playlist right now, like if I go on here, there's a lot of different stuff. I got like old school music, like you guys should know who Kanye West is.
We all know who Kanye West is.
Okay,
I know almost nothing about rap, but I know who Kanye West is.
Well, Kanye West,
He's definitely not gay, and he's definitely not a fish.
Anybody with a spine knows who Kanye West is. Good opinions, bad opinions, it doesn't matter.
Like I have some of his old albums on my playlist. Like there was an album called 808s and Heartbreaks, a couple good songs on there. Like it's cool, but then it also can range up to like new rap and stuff like that. So
Any like artists in
Difference.
particular that you could recommend somebody for, like, if they want to get into rap, who should they be
Well,
listening to?
well, it really depends on what like subsection of rap you're talking
Well, yeah, because
about.
there are different kinds of rap. Like, there's like Eminem, and then there's
like,
Lil Nas
yeah,
X.
There's
It's a pretty wide
there's-
net.
There's so there's people like old school people from like the early 2000s and stuff like that, like M and all the people from that generation. Then there's kind of like the midsection of like still kind of old school rappers who rap the same way, like J. Cole and like Kendrick Lamar and stuff. But then there's the new rappers that came out. There's a subsection called emo hip hop, which is like people
What?
like Juice World.
No wonder I
or-
like Juice WRLD so much.
or
Jesus.
or Trippie Redd. I don't know if you've heard who that is. He's made a song with Juice WRLD a few times. Just like that whole, there's a whole section of like rappers who just fall into that category. A lot of them are dead, but you know?
Yeah, rappers tend to drop like actual flies.
Like Juice died from pill
Drug
overdose.
overdose.
And then Lil Peep, he died somehow. I forgot how he died. I think he died from a drug overdose too.
Rappers croak more often than tree frogs, man. Like,
And we're oh my
swear to
god, there's this one guy. His name is Lil Reese. I like to call him Lil Reese.
Little
And
Reese, get a little bit of chocolate, some of that peanut butter.
so he got shot 9 times now, and he lived. And he got the most recent one. He got shot in his neck. He was just sitting there, just like, and lived.
He's still
so
kicking?
now, like, there's an internet meme that he's just the Grim Reaper.
Dude, Justin.
Yeah.
Can we? Do you know anything about the horrorcore rap genre?
Not so much anymore. I used to listen to it when like
Back when he was emo.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
When he was 14
like
and deep, sequentially.
Specifically ICP and Twisted.
I don't know either.
Don't even get me started on that Insane Clown Posse. That actually sounds like snapping sticks over your kneecap.
That's the point. It's supposed to sound like. It's supposed to sound like that.
Okay, I'm just gonna straight up ask you guys. What sex ed. Kids know about sex by 5 years old. All of them. They get younger and younger. Should the sex ed class be lowered down to earlier grades? Because I know
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't get a sex ed class. I got a sex ed section of a class. 1 year, 5th grade.
I had sex ed
one
in
video.
middle
That
school
was it.
for a little bit, and then I got sex ed in high school in much more depth.
I got sex ed in 4th grade.
So it really seems like it depends on the school, I guess, but like...
Yeah, it's
Well,
not.
when
It's dependent on what state you're in, and it's dependent on what school you're in. And I think a lot of people were actually, like, I remember there was a controversy going around at Northeast, actually, about teaching sex ed to kids that young. But nowadays, it should be, honestly. Oh my god, did I tell either of you about the time that this whole family came into my store? I work at a gas station, by the way. This whole family came into my store, like 6 kids. This girl, she comes up to the counter right before her family leaves and says, if a boy walks up here and asks for condoms, don't sell them to him. Not even a minute later, a boy comes up with a bag of Cheetos with another girl and throws a box of condoms at me. Mind you, this kid is fucking 10 years old.
I
He
just
says,
choked on my
I want
water.
those too, please. And I'm
Can you give me the
staring,
extra magnum dong-sized condoms?
dumbfounded, as the girl is like, no, dude, I'm not buying you condoms, and I'm standing there like, I'm not gonna sell you these condoms.
Was this guy...
I said at least wait until your balls drop and you actually sound like an adult before you try to buy condoms.
So
Wait,
he
he
was
was little?
underage
And
and
he-
trying to buy them?
Yes.
See, I
He
know.
was
I thought this was
10.
just like a regular walking in
Right.
here, and they've
Right.
just been fed up with it. Slams of butts.
And he said, after I called him out, he said, nah, I get all the females.
Yeah. Sexiest line I've ever heard. One of the best one-liners in human history. Yeah, I get all the females. That's like borderline incest.
Well, I
Not
mean-
incest. That's borderline, what are they? Incel territory.
Well, I will say that I have had my fair share.
Of condoms. Just slam them down on the counter.
Of
Just
condoms or
No.
females?
of females.
I mean, I've talked to a few. I mean, I got a girlfriend
Justin.
now. I gotta be loyal and shit. But
Clapping
Justin,
sheets like I'm
I've-
out here clapping cymbals.
no,
Justin,
but
I
nah.
get more pussy than you do.
That one I'm not so sure about.
Put them in the gladiator arena. No, but I'd like to imagine that this isn't the only kid, because this woman knew this was gonna happen, right? Your coworker, she knew this was gonna happen. 30.
No, it wasn't my coworker. It was this kid's sister.
Oh. Oh.
This is
Why
only
didn't
happened
she
to
just
me
take it away
once.
from him?
I wonder if there's an
I
entire.
did. I straight up told him I wasn't gonna sell him condoms.
I wonder if there's an entire.
she was
gang
in the
of
store
kids
with
this
him?
age. So do you think there's an entire neighborhood of kids who go around asking for condoms when they're clearly underage and aren't able to get them?
Underage
Yes,
sex
actually.
is rampant.
Dude, people in our town love underage sex. It's like they try to speed run it. That's a good 80% record he went for, but he
Listen,
made a pivotal
that-
mistake when he brought his sister with him.
That's any kid at our age now.
See, but that's what I don't understand, though. It's like, it almost seems
Hormones
every
are kicking
year
in.
kids are just more and more sexually enraged to try to get right up in that pussy. Like, just really go in there and go for
Well,
underage sex.
I don't really got a problem with it as long as like, okay, unless like you're like 5, but like
I think it's a prestige
around-
thing.
around our
It
age.
is.
I mean, I don't think it's really that big of a deal as long as you're being smart.
I
And
think
if you're not, then you don't deserve to have a kid in the first place.
Justin, one of my best friends, got pregnant when she was 14.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
That's a
even
problem.
have attempted it at 14.
One of the things that I actually was shown in sex ed in high school, or no, this one was middle school, was that Michigan is one of the worst states in the country, or at least was at the time, for teen pregnancy. So, I
Yeah,
mean, it's not really a surprise that it happens here.
Yes. Go ahead, don't wear a condom. Make yourself a statistic.
Yeah, I won't do that.
I know, right? And then they
Like-
drop out of high school, and then they get a job working, like, second shift at Costco, and they're unable to support
So-
their family.
Speaking of like getting a shift and stuff, this kind of segues into another topic I want to talk about. I want to save up my money to get a VR headset, the Oculus.
Oh,
As
yeah,
you know, you have
the
it.
Quest 2, Zuckerberg's trying to put ads on it. In case you didn't know,
So get-
recent news, Facebook is basically the company that produces the Oculus Quest 2. I mean, along with Oculus, but this one is like Facebook licensed or
Yeah.
whatever, and now they're trying to put ads in some of the games on it, for which
Facebook.
there wasn't before. Yeah, and I don't think that's ever been a thing with VR systems, is you didn't get, like, mobile game mid-roll ads in the middle of your game.
Right. This never happened.
No, that's kind of trash. But
So
Wait,
I had
is
on
your
the,
Oculus gonna start playing ads in front of your games?
sometimes I think some of the games, but
he's just gonna be playing like Beat Saber or something, and then all you're gonna hear is, "That's how it feels to drive a Ford F-150."
5 gum. Sensor stimulate.
yeah, just that kind of garbage.
Right.
No, another thing that they did just recently, they added this thing called AirPlay. It's a beta feature right now, so any of you
Sex is your sandwich.
Any of you Oculus Quest 2 owners out there, AirPlay, you don't need a link cable. You don't need one of those $60, $80 cords to play your, to hook up your Quest to your computer anymore. You can do it with AirPlay. It's just wireless connection to your computer, so you can play your computer games without the necessity of a link cable, which is stupid.
Alex,
I mean, it's good because it's free, but also I paid $20 for virtual desktop streamer, and now it's pretty much useless. So, yay, congratulations me.
So, I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, but we'll start with you, Alex, because you probably have the most to say about it. Actually, no, we'll start with you last. Lex, let's start with you. What's your favorite old school video game console?
Well, it depends on what you mean by old school, because
Like
before our
younger
generation-
than the Wii.
younger than
How about
older than
pre
me.
2000, before the year
Yeah.
2000, before Y2K?
Before.
Yeah.
I can tell you what my answer is.
I don't know.
'Cause
I really like the Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
I'm gonna go ahead and say out of all the systems to think of, it for me it's either the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo 64. I never really cared for the PlayStation 1, even though it had hundreds
Well, wait.
of games.
Oh, you're right. Nintendo 64 is under that bar.
1996.
Nintendo 64.
That-
Yeah.
Wonderful console. Lots of fun
Nintendo
games
64.
that yeah, no.
PlayStation as well. I was thinking about PlayStation. The thing about the Nintendo 64 was that, it didn't have a lot of games.
No, because the third parties didn't want to touch it because like it was so much harder to develop for the system. It's a problem, or it was a problem. But I mean, it was still my favorite one because every single game on the 64 was a banger. You know, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
You never would have thought that a game like Pokemon Snap would be a critical hit, but you know we're getting a remaster. So.
PlayStation is PlayStation, but Nintendo 64 has fucking Rareware. So.
Oh yeah, Rareware. They were like, oh, guys, guess what? Conker's bad for a day. But wait, get this, GoldenEye 007. But wait, there's more. Banjo-Kazooie. Rareware hit their prime in
terms for me, it's not really.
I don't think I can pick between PlayStation and Nintendo 64.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. In terms for me, like I can't like say that the 64 or anything was my favorite because I never had it. Like for like I guess emotionally wise, like it would have to be my NES because I grew up with that system. But if there was any of the old school systems that I would want to buy, and if I had the opportunity to, it would probably be the GameCube. It'd probably be the 64.
The GameCube is old school.
No, well, I mean, for people our age it is, because it's technically considered retro now. The GameCube was 2002. That was just before we were born. But
that was the year I was born.
That's after the year 2000. Justin.
Then 64.
So don't even think about it.
Then 64.
There you go.
Definitely.
There you go, buddy. Breath of the Wild 2. We had a trailer dropped for E3. I don't know if Lex has seen it, but it was pretty much Link fell in the sky for a bit. There was a bunch of islands or something.
I don't really watch E3.
Oh, well, I watched it with you.
Yeah, me and you watched the entire thing together in a call. But
are you still editing that? Are you gonna
that's not something I plan on uploading. It's just something I wanted to have on my computer.
Well,
but yeah,
in terms of like the trailer and stuff, I mean, it was cool, I guess. I didn't really care for a lot of the games because obviously I'm not like full Nintendo.
Me, on the other hand, I will dive into Nintendo's...
Listen, fucking Nintendo fans look like, we look like...
We look like a joke.
We do. We're a joke to like the Xbox PlayStation war community. Nintendo doesn't exist to them, and when it's brought up, we get beaten.
Well, I am
reason.
excited for Breath of the Wild 2, whatever it's got in store, even though we waited 2 years for a trailer. But I mean, it's like a minute-something long trailer.
Was there something about Tomodachi Life? Because I thought maybe because they re-released Miitopia.
Nothing
but there was a bunch of there was a bunch of Samus stuff.
It would be so sweet to get a new Tomodachi Life for the Switch. I don't even know how, but I somehow managed to clock 300 hours on that game.
Jeez, it's almost as much as how much I play Smash.
Speaking of Smash, tell you what, I am not really excited for the new character. Let me look up his name real fast.
What's the new character?
He's from Tekken, I think.
Yeah, he's one of the villains from Tekken. Let me take a look here. Kazuya Mishima from Tekken. I don't really care at all. I mean, it's basically the same thing as adding Terry to the game, just another classical arcade style fighter character. I could have done without it, especially since there's only going to be 2 characters in the game, and then that'll be it. I don't think there's prospects for another set of DLC characters. I really don't think that'll happen, but you know, you'd think they'd go for a bigger hit than
Right.
They already have like Tekken Me costumes. I'm pretty sure there was already Tekken Assist trophies. I just didn't.
There is Tekken Assist
it didn't
trophies.
seem like too smart a pick to me.
Master Sakurai just wanted his husbando in the game.
Maybe. Taking a look at him from the trailer, it doesn't look like he's gonna add too much that isn't already in the game in terms of exciting mechanics.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's cool.
He looks basic.
But he does look basic.
He looks basic.
I wish. Like, what was one on your list? Like, that you wanted to be a DLC character?
Oh, I've wanted tons of characters. You already know Crash Bandicoot's my
That's
heart
number one.
is gonna hurt if he doesn't get in the game this last slot. But I mean, I'd also be cool with Doom guy. Doom is a super cool franchise. He would fit into Smash, I think. I mean, even with all the blood and guts and stuff, it's not like they haven't worked around that kind of thing before, like with Snake or Bayonetta. So Doom guy would obviously be really cool. Master Chief would be interesting, especially considering there's already been 2 Microsoft reps between the fighter passes. I guess for a really obscure, like this never gonna happen pick, Shantae would be really cool to have in the game too.
Shantae from I don't know what that game is.
She's the half genie chick with the purple hair on the side scroller games. But
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm still pulling the Crash Bandicoot wagon all the way until home base.
Jesus.
Yeah, I want Crash
Yandere-chan for Smash Ultimate.
Dude, Yandere, there's nothing more to be said about him.
There really isn't. He's
So-
still going. I don't know why he's still going.
I can't
Nobody
believe it.
cares anymore, dude.
People have torn this man to shreds for the past however many years, and he's still slowly making this game.
I think it's been like 8 years.
8 years.
So,
And I bet you
don't
the
know-
last 6 years of development have looked exactly the same.
I don't know if you guys knew, but there was this event that went on recently, a YouTuber versus TikToker event that went on
Ouch.
in a boxing event, obviously.
Of course
oh
it was
my,
boxing.
It's always boxing.
Dude, it's always boxing
And-
now. Everybody's boxing each other.
Oh my
Swear to
god.
God.
The idea
Our
that I like to see
cousin,
people fight.
Our cousin, who I'm not going to name names, Naffy, I'm gonna call her. We were watching the Jake Paul, and
It was Logan Paul.
no, it was Jake Paul. There was a Jake Paul fight,
There
with
was a
this
few
really
Jake Paul
big,
fights.
boxer that was
Basketball
coming
player.
out of retirement to do this,
Oh, Ben Askren.
competition.
It was a UFC fighter. Ben
So
Askren.
this was
And-
a while ago.
The entire time, Naffy is just fucking screaming and like, cause we were all dogging on Jake Paul, right? And Naffy's actually a Jake
Because
Paul
he's a
fan.
loser.
Naffy's a Jake Paul fan.
Hmm.
That's unfortunate. That is.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. My position on both Paul brothers is I've never liked Jake. Jake sucks.
Jake's terrible.
But with that being said, when he goes into fights, it's very entertaining because not only can he shit talk really good, and it's enjoyable. So watching that is funny.
Isn't that really
and
how it
enjoyable.
is, though? UFC fighting these days, half of it's shit talking. At least it's not wrestling where 100% of it is how good you can shit talk.
But so like when he fought Nate Robinson, he knocked him out. He's fighting very well. I guess Ben Askren isn't. He was a great UFC fighter, but he's fighting people without as big as a rep or as good as they could be in boxing. Easy opponents, so then he can build his record up. So then
Great.
he can just keep being undefeated because currently he's undefeated right now.
Oh
Unlike
my
Logan
God.
Paul, where he fought KSI and then fought Floyd Mayweather and thought he was going to win. But we all knew he was going to lose.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, that's Logan Paul. And Logan Paul is not really that good of a boxer. Jake Paul is way better.
Yeah, I heard that was
And-
boring as hell.
Yeah, it was just a lot of hugging.
Hugging. They
Yeah,
went out there and they
clinching.
made out on the dance floor.
I
so people
don't.
made
I
memes about
don't
it.
watch stuff like that, but I watched it with them because like they were all watching it, and I lived there, and I didn't want to just sit in my room the whole time, so I was like, I'm gonna
Well-
watch it with them, and I'm gonna tell them how much of a horrible person Jake Paul is.
Well, he is. But I do root for him in the fight because, like, he's enjoyable. He's not bad, so it's like you can't really take that credit away from him. But that YouTuber versus TikToker event was so bad. Now, there's this one guy. Now, I'm pretty sure you both know who KSI is.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows who
Um,
KSI is as well.
So,
He's made a name for himself just on fighting other people online.
nah, he was in YouTube way back. He's one of the
Oh,
OGs
I know,
on
I know.
YouTube.
He's been on YouTube a long time, but it's always been like diss tracks with him.
Oh yeah, when the Sidemen diss tracks and stuff came out, but that's besides the point. his brother, his name is Deji. Now, everyone leading up to the fight, it was this guy named Austin McBroom and, like, one of the most known TikTok stars, Bryce Hall, yeah. And he's just basically a very cocky white boy with a little bit of muscle. And he said that he was a fighter and he got in 40 street fights and won them all. And then
yeah, that sounds like a lie. Sounds a little bit exaggerated.
He got in the ring with this other guy. His name is Austin McBroom. He's a Family Channel guy.
Austin McBroom? What is he? What are the Wicked Stepsisters?
But he's like a family YouTuber. But he, of course, he beat his ass. Like, Bryce Hall was bloody. Like, it was so bad. And listen, he got knocked down a couple times. Like, I wish I could play the fight in here. He got knocked down a couple times. And then he got back up. He kept getting punched down again, knocked back down, and the ref just called it.
Bro, that is the best when it's like louder they talk, the harder they fall.
And he was looking around like, ref, why'd you stop it? While his face is bleeding. And he can barely stand completely.
You know, it probably sounded to the referee more like...
So...
Come on, man, I can still go.
Dad, I was getting in the shower, and Dad made a fucking PewDiePie pun at me. And I don't know why people do this. Like, I have not even fucking talked about PewDiePie since 2018, and for some reason...
Never cared about that guy. That is
no,
a thing
it
that...
just made me think about how I haven't really thought about PewDiePie since the T-Series shit.
I haven't either. That's when I stopped watching him.
To kind of switch topics here, I do have some things to say about this Skyward Sword game that is a complete... It's like a scam. It's like the most blatant scam in the world, and everybody's just taking the piss shower. Like, I can't believe it. Nintendo already pulled this garbage before with their 3D All-Stars. Their whole ordeal with that. How selling 3 lazily remastered games... I'll put that in quotes, by the way. 3 lazily remastered games for $60 from their most popular franchise. But they're going to take their second most popular franchise, sell 1 game shittily remastered for the same price, and expect people to buy it. It's not like Skyward Sword's all that much newer than Galaxy either.
Skyward Sword also sucks.
It's not even that. Like, they could have made quality of life updates, they could have changed controls, but the only thing they decide to add is teleportation that you're going to only be able to use if you buy their $30 amiibo. Like, twice the price of normal amiibo, and it's the only one that works for the game. It's an absolute joke. It's ridiculous. Nintendo just keeps trying harder and harder to one-up themselves to slap their fans with the hardest possible cock in the world.
Well, speaking of Nintendo, and speaking of you talking about Nintendo, that your videos recently have been, like, going crazy.
Oh yeah, a couple more views than average. No, what's really funny is just the way YouTube treats algorithms. How, you know, you can throw 100 things out there, 1,000 things out there, but one of them gets swept in by the storm, and suddenly it's, you know, one thing has 100,000 views.
Right, but it's still gaining you more views on your next couple of videos that are being watched. And now you're getting a couple hundred though, aren't you? Didn't you get a couple hundred on your
yeah, on my latest
recent
one. How do you feel about, like, just some of the shit that Nintendo's done lately?
Ugh. It makes me not want to be a Nintendo fan.
This last year specifically has just been torture.
Oh, my Joy-Cons are drifty.
Oh my
Hard
god,
to believe that is only in my imagination.
That's not just last year, though. They've been fighting lawsuits on Joy-Con drift since the Switch launched. Since it launched, how many times have they promised, oh yeah, we'll start making them better, and they're not. Oh yeah, we'll make them cheaper, but they're not.
So both my
I'm gonna pay $80 for a piece of plastic that's gonna break in a week.
Basically, my red and blue ones, Alex, I know you know this. I don't know if you know this, Lex, but those both Joy-Cons had drift. So I took them to my friend to get them fixed, and they've worked ever since then. I don't know what's the difference
But
now.
you shouldn't have to do that. If you're buying a
Right.
product, you shouldn't have to dismantle it. Some people, most people don't even know how to do that.
No, they make it shitty on purpose so that you are forced to buy new ones.
Hooray.
Planned obsolescence sucks.
So, Flash games. It's a little off topic, but I mean, I wanted to talk about that for a minute.
Flash games have been gone for half a year, except
We've been using
use-
Flashpoint.
Yeah, we've been using this thing called Blue Maximus Flashpoint because it's pretty much just a revival of all of those Flash games that got wiped in the big purge of 2020 December.
Is that the stuff that I have on my computer now as well?
Yeah, Blue Maxima Flashpoint. It's just a complete compendium of thousands upon thousands of Flash games. Pretty much anything you
So-
can think of.
What were
Dress
all your
up.
favorite?
Oh yeah, Super Mario Dress Up 2009. No, but really,
We played.
it's cool
What
to
were some
see
of your
that
favorite?
community isn't dead.
We played a Dora the Explorer game from 2007 earlier today.
What are you guys' favorite?
What'd you say?
What's your favorite Flash games?
Favorite Flash games?
Like some of your thoughts.
Oh my god, I played hundreds of Flash games. My favorite ones were always the simple ones where you like fly, die, retry kind of
gotta
games.
think
Stuff
about
like Toss
that.
the Turtle.
Learn to
What was
Fly
the
is
one? Porta
up there.
Potties or something?
Learn to Fly was a good game. But
The
yeah,
one where you made a plane out of like, what was it? We were playing. You were playing it when we first downloaded my stuff. I forget what it's called.
Potty Racers.
Potty Racers?
3,
Yeah.
baby.
Of
Yeah,
course,
I
it
used
was
to play
Potty
that.
Racers 3.
Skate on a runway, get up in your porta potty, and you flush yourself down the drain of the big Atlantic Ocean, and you upgrade it.
That and obviously Super Smash Flash. I played that in school. all
I
the
never
time.
played Smash Flash.
I really liked Duck Life 4.
There was
I
a
like
lot
Duck
of
Life,
Duck
too.
Life. Duck Life was a good.
Did you ever
series.
play Run? I don't think it wasn't. I don't know
Bro,
if it was a
if you
Flash
were
game.
in a high school ever, you played Run, or a
Okay,
middle school
yeah.
or whatever. If you had a computer lab in school, you play Run. You and your buddies, you be racing on Run.
So I wonder what happens now.
Run was super cool, but I
'Cause, like-
never played it. Like everybody played Run except for me.
Why not?
I don't know. I played Duck Life. Everybody else was playing Run. You expect me to know why I did that?
Well, you would think, because everyone else did it, maybe it'd be fun.
No.
Another thing, just kind of with like technology booming recently. What do you guys think of self-driving cars, Teslas and shit, where you can like pull up an app on your phone? You're gonna have soon enough. People are just gonna send their shit to other people with nobody in the car.
Hey, I mean, transportation.
Scary. Cars are already giant metal death boxes. Don't make them drive themselves. We're getting closer and closer to the robot uprising.
No, I think that self-driving cars are a really cool technology. I'd love to see just
Yeah.
a bunch of cars driving around on the street with no one in
Right.
them, or like dogs in the
So-
front seat.
So, Lex, what you just said, I lost my train of thought, kind of. What did you just say, Lex?
They said
You said,
that
don't make the...
Cars are already big, giant metal death boxes, and making them drive themselves is
Oh,
even
wait, you said the
scarier.
robot uprising.
Yeah.
There was something that was always told to me. Like, I used to take engineering classes when I was little. It was called DAPSEP. And it was basically like this big building with like a whole bunch of different classrooms and stuff. And you would go in there and you would just learn about different fields of engineering. I forget which one I was doing at the
Isn't
time.
one of the laws of robotics or something that a robot can never harm a human?
Right,
It
but
was-
it's not
it wa-
about
it was-
it's not about
it
making
was-
cars robots, because they're not. They're machines.
I know. But they said that it was as long as you're the one putting the information in, they can't. The machine is only as smart as you make it, and it's always as long as you put the information in, or something along the lines like that.
Yeah, but then
That
we
you really can't. They can't turn on you.
we have shit like learning AIs and deep fakes and
Yeah, but it's not about giving cars AI either. It's just about using them as a smarter
Literally,
tool.
the only way it would be a threat is if the government, or for some reason, or someone
No,
got
when
their
it's a
hands on that
threat is when there's
technology and
unavoidable
sent it to
situations.
us. and sent it to us. That's the only way it would be much of a threat.
It would be an unavoidable situation where the car would have to kill someone or something. If you ever seen the program Moral Machine, it's the exact thing that I'm talking about, where, for example, a car
Like the trolley problem, but with a car?
Right, it's a self-driving car, and there's no swerving. It's either going to hit people in the street, or you can swerve the car, and it'll hit a brick wall and kill the driver. And it's all about, the whole thing with self-driving cars is ascertaining what's important. Should it kill the driver and spare the higher number of lives that's walking the street, or does it kill those people because they're not as important as what's inside the car?
Whoa.
There's hundreds, thousands, millions of different scenarios just like that. And it's also about not knowing what people could be walking that street. They could be burglars, or they could be future presidents. There could be a newborn in there. There could be a bunch of people in the car. It's about deciding in these kinds of scenarios what the best decision is, what morally is the right thing to do, and that's where it's kind of stunted. The technology is there.
Yeah.
It's just about deciding.
Yeah, it would definitely depend on who the person is, because had it been like, oh yeah, there's two people tied up to the tracks on one side, and the other side there's three, but the two people who are tied up are the president of the United States and his son. Like, they're obviously going to pick that.
Well, the thing is too, you take two different people and put them in that same scenario, they're gonna choose different options.
Right.
There's no way to correctly pick that.
Right, because either way you're going to be hurting somebody, and someone's going to feel some type of pain.
Don't worry about Ethan, he's sleeping. Mark wants you to do it. He wants to see how much his body can take.
So, I'm pretty sure all 12 of you people don't know, but you can see the back of Alex's room and can tell that he probably owns a lot of figurines.
I collect a lot of figurines, I'm a bit of a freak show.
You've got like 50 amiibos.
Oh, more than
Like,
that.
I got a couple.
It's more like 80. I've got 80 amiibos, somewhere in that ballpark. I collect old video games, stuff like GameCube, NES. I collect just regular figurines from stuff like anime that I enjoy.
Well, while we're
I collect game guides.
I collect things too, but it's like a playable media thing. If you can play it in something, then I probably have a small collection of it.
Well, I mean, I don't collect a lot. It's just kind of like a little bit of everything for me. A little bit in each category. I got at least something for it. Like, obviously, Nintendo, I got all these amiibos and stuff. And my controllers and stuff like that. But I don't really, like, buy and collect a bunch of stuff. But I do got shoes.
I have roughly 100.
Yeah, Justin collects shoes. That's it. That's the one right there.
I have roughly
But I don't really collect shoes as
150
much.
VHS tapes, and if I count all of my movies, like, in total, like, regardless of format, I have near 500.
Well, I mean...
That's a good thing to think about for a second. Because DVDs have been obsolete for a long time by this point, but people like Lex still collect them. Where do you think do you think all these people are just gonna get rid of all DVDs? Do you think the market value for pretty much every movie on DVD out there is gonna plummet because nobody's gonna have a use for it?
I feel like that
someday
actually
soon,
will happen.
like maybe in the next 10 years, DVDs are going to become completely obsolete, like VHSs did, because people are still kind of wavering on Blu-ray, but Blu-ray has become mainstream, and people want DVDs less and less and less.
My thing is,
Right.
you release Adam Sandler in Pixels, and there's hundreds of thousands of copies produced, and say there's only a few thousand collectors in the world that are just going to want that in their collection. When everybody gets rid of their copy of Pixels, where are all those copies going to go? They're going to have to start filling landfills. They're going to be worth cents, actual cents.
Well, yeah, you can go and you can walk into a Goodwill and get 4 tapes for $1. And right now, the value of DVDs that I've seen, like, across everything, I can get season 5 or so or whatever of Adventure Time on eBay for $5. If it's on DVD. If it's on Blu-ray, it'll be $20, but if it's on DVD, I can get it for $5. So
I don't.
they're getting there.
There is one thing I collect. There is one thing I collect, and I just realized this. I didn't know, but I just happened to look down at my desk. So, I gotta find the rest. I gotta go down, but as you can see, I have a $2 bill. So like, I collect.
He collects
actual
$2
money.
bills, specifically
No.
the $2 ones. Every time he receives one, he doesn't spend it. He spends 2 singles. Now he spends like everything to preserve the $2 bills. I'd like to imagine a
So,
bank vault of just $2
I found
bills.
it.
Well,
So,
listen, one day you're
I
gonna have
have-
to spend all those $2 bills, man. Our
So
dad,
we got a Canada.
our dad used to have nearly every NES game, and he had a hefty collection of Xbox games too. But we needed a new car, so we sold them all.
Whoa, Justin, where's that one from?
I don't know.
Nobody
exactly.
can see what you're pulling up, my guy.
Your
you
camera
didn't-
hasn't been working at all this entire time.
It's been
Has
working
it
for
really?
me. But it's not about
you
that,
just
it's that I'm
said
not recording the cameras. No, you're collecting like exotic dollar bills?
Yeah, there's I got one from Canada. There's a couple other countries. I got a euro.
I've got a
Um,
Chinese dollar. I've got a yen.
There's a couple others. I think this is.
Is all currency in Asia the same?
No,
Because I think yen is Japanese currency, dude.
it is.
Would this be considered? Yeah, I don't know. But I thought you were recording the screens as well. I didn't know you were just recording the what you call it.
I have some pretty cool stuff, I would say. I have both complete collections of Futurama. If there's a third one, which I think there is, I'm not completely sure on that. I think there's a third one that comes with a model of the Planet Express ship. But
What do you guys...
I have the regular complete collection of Futurama, and I have the collection that is like the replica Bender's Head, where you open the back and all the discs are in there. And then I think I need one more. No, I need 2 more of the box sets, and then I'll have all 4 box sets that were released.
What do you
I
guys
know you
think is
guys
the
can see
value in really expensive collector's items? Stuff like the replica portal gun that's hundreds of dollars, or like the Mega Man wearable helmet that's another couple $100. Stuff that only collectors would want but are also crazily priced anyway.
The value of having them is literally just you get to say that you have it. You get to show people that you have it. I can walk over to my shelf and pull Bender's head off of it and show people that I own a replica of Bender's head.
Where do you guys fall on that scale? I guess from 1 to 10, 1 being I would never spend so much money on something like that. Like, it might be cool, but I'm not into it. 10 being, if I want it, I'm going to buy it at some point. Just in terms of really expensive collector's items.
Well, I don't think I would spend that money on it myself. I'd wait for somebody to gift it to me.
Because, like, I've got a lot of cool stuff. I don't think I'm exactly desperate to get my hands on a specific item. And if I was, I don't think I'd pay hundreds of dollars for it. That's not the way my mind works. I'd never be able to forgive myself.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
I
which is
couldn't
why
do
you
that
wait
either.
for somebody to gift it to you.
I wouldn't be able to do it either. I couldn't go through with that.
I'd still say I'm like a 6, though. Because I'm not completely opposed to buying something. I would.
Right.
Right. It just depends if
Totally
I really
do
have
it.
the money for it.
Like there's
If I really can afford.
There's
to
this
spend that
there's
money.
this Invader Zim collector set that I do not have. I technically have it because I have the DVDs. I found them in a thrift store actually, for a crazy low price considering what they go for online. But it doesn't have. They didn't have it in the actual box that it's supposed to come in. Which, if they did, it probably would have been on the same shelf as the Bender head that is now residing on my, in my room. But, it's the set that's like, it's a replica of Zim's house, and when you open it, all the discs are in there, and it came with I think it came with a Dib and Gur, figurines. So I have the actual set of DVDs, but I don't have the case. And I would have been willing to pay for that. It goes for around 300. I think I've seen, think the highest I've seen it go for is 500, and there are not many listings for it. Like, I have had a very hard time finding it.
I know you amiibo hunt from every now and then, Alex.
And some of them are unbelievable. Oh my god. It's the same thing with some NES games right now, and even GameCube games especially. Those hard to find. It doesn't have to be something made to be sold expensively, because an Invader Sim box set or a Mega Man Buster gun replica, those are going to be expensive off the bat. But an NES game that would have been more like $60 at the time.
Oh,
those
yeah.
go up in value.
No,
those
games that are considered rare aren't actually rare. If you can find more than 10 listings for it on eBay, then it ain't rare.
Games that are considered rare should be considered a crime because of how expensive they get.
Right. It's not games that are rare, it's just games that people want. Like, people call Ocarina of Time hard to find because people want that game and they're gonna spend more if they think they can't get it.
Yeah. And wasn't there just a section of I forget what the term was called, but when they first released 3D All Stars, they did it. Oh, because of the yeah, artificial scarcity, because they wanted to get rid of it in when was it? When they said they get rid of it, like a couple months from then.
They took it off the eShop after March 31st.
Right.
Along with removing Super Mario 35 from being a playable game.
I find that so stupid.
Isn't it though? What is the point? What could you possibly hope to gain from setting an expiration date on a digital game?
More people will buy it when it's out because they feel like they'll never get a chance to do it again.
Right, which is really probably what would happen, and if not, then Nintendo would probably release it if they really want to get more money. They'll release it for their new console whenever they come out with. They probably won't though, not at least for a couple years. Like, I know the PS5 is very scarce right now. Like, PS5 and Xbox. PS5, you can't get your hands on it unless you go on like Twitter or something and get the Twitter accounts activated.
That's because of scalping bots, though. People that'll set up bots to purchase 80 copies of the machine so that they can resell them. That's right. That's something completely different, but it's also disgusting.
Guy at the beginning of quarantine who went to a store and bought all of the toilet paper and hand sanitizer from that store and was reselling it all on eBay for ridiculous prices.
I didn't see one person in particular, but I know that was a thing that happened, was people were just rampaging stores buying all the Mountain Dew they could find so that they didn't have to stay at home without their gamer energy. No, I'm glad that some places are finally lifting their mandates and putting us back on the streets.
The first time we went to the grocery store, and the meat section was barren. Like, there was almost nothing.
I don't remember anything like that.
Maybe you didn't go. I think the first time I went with Dad, the store was completely empty.
I am happy that they started loosening restrictions. I know they opened up Michigan again, which is great.
I still wear my mask places just because it's a thing I feel like doing, just in case,
I bring my mask with me. I bring my mask with me, but I don't really wear it unless I have to. Because I'm vaccinated anyways.
Yeah.
So I actually don't need to wear my mask.
But I'm
try to go get vaccinated soon.
Everybody's ears have been bled to death with coronavirus news for the past year. I lasted way longer than anybody ever anticipated. My God, man.
Right.
What a chapter for the history books.
But it's crazy though, because this will literally go down in like history.
Oh yeah,
We'll
no,
be part of
everything's
that
different now.
generation who
People are never
experienced the
people are never
quarantine.
gonna walk outside maskless, close to each other, packed stadiums. They're never gonna be the same.
Right. They're not going to change it. Everyone's gonna at least have a mask on or something.
It's not that
But
they're never
crazy.
gonna change it. It's that people are never gonna be able to look at things
Right.
the way that they were a couple years ago.
Right, it's like
But-
what
but-
happened
but-
after 9/11. Like, people never felt as safe as they did ever again.
Right, and didn't they like stop like smoking and like all the other stuff on the plane? That's when they really tightened security and stuff. But in terms of COVID, like I was surprised that it did last this long. But going into this next year, like for school and stuff, like I know Alex, you're going in your senior year.
I
Oh my God.
graduated. I
And you
graduated
graduated
in
already.
quarantine.
Man,
Yeah,
the
and I
workload's
go
gonna
into my
feel
junior.
crazy now.
Right, because like now we're in school.
We had a whole year of basically nothing, easy work. But, I mean, going
Right.
back to it the way things were before, especially because of restrictions, I wasn't able to do everything that I wanted to my junior year, so it's all going to get cram-packed, and my senior is going to be busy as hell.
Yeah.
I
know I'm probably gonna have to take a language next year, and that's gonna be in-person language, which is going to suck. They better not give me Chinese.
This
That's
is
all I have to
this
say.
is a little off topic, but like, I didn't see my girlfriend for 8 months, and that was so hard. And I can't imagine how it must have been, because I know a ton of people, not just me, had to have gone through something similar. Where me and my girlfriend, we thought it was we kissed each other goodbye, and we said, okay, I'll see you in 3 weeks, and then 3 weeks turned into 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks turned into 3 months, and it was torturous.
And then quarantine.
Now, when it happened, because I know it happened on the 12th. When it happened on the 12th, I thought, okay, yeah, maybe for like a week or two, and then after they called it the second time, I knew we weren't going back. And
Oh,
then for the upcoming school year, I didn't know for sure, but judging for how my school was acting, I knew we were going to go in online. So
I still think
obviously I knew junior year that we were going to go, or well, I guess this year we're going to go up into school upcoming, but I know at least for me at least, my junior year is going to be great because I'm getting my car in like October or something like that, in October, December, because I'll have my license then.
Yeah, just make sure you don't let the car drive itself there, Hemi. Yeah, I am way late to the party in the driving game. I'm just not much of a driver. Always been good with my own 2 feet.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing beats walking. Some of
It's
my
gonna
friends
be a
like to
while
walk.
before I get a driver's license. I should have one now. All my friends are getting their driver's licenses, and I still don't even know how to drive.
Yeah, no, I have my permit. I just got away from my license.
See?
Ooh. License.
I gotta take segment 2 in like late or early August, late July. That's when my 90 days will be up, and by then I have to have all 30 of my hours in, but I want to get all 50 done.
What happens if you get 50 instead of 30? Like, is 30 just the bare minimum?
Well, you need 50 to pass completely, but in order to go into segment 2, the minimum requirement is 30 hours of driving
Oh.
to go into the second
I
segment
gotcha.
of driver's training.
Do you guys drink energy drinks at all? Or, like, coffee or whatever?
I don't, but I know when I was like 7, Cameron, he grabbed a Monster and had me drink it, and I didn't like it.
I used to love coffee. I still love coffee, but I can't have any caffeine whatsoever anymore. Like, I can't even drink cola anymore.
I am never craving an energy drink. I hate coffee. I hate the bitter taste of coffee, but
I do.
I
too.
never crave an energy drink or any sort of caffeine because I'm just like a naturally energetic person normally. But like lately,
energetic is an understatement.
lately I've been drinking more energy drinks just because my dad will buy me some sometimes, or when I go to buy something, I'll get one with it. And it's more or less just like the same as drinking pop or lemonade, just another drink in the arsenal. If I'm feeling thirsty one day, I'll just grab this.
Not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever walked into a store and said, "Let me get an energy drink."
It's not even about the energy aspect for me. There's some of them just taste good.
Well,
yeah, that's how I feel about coffee. It just tastes good. I just want to have it. But I can't even have decaf coffee. I don't know what it is. There's something about coffee that just upsets my body.
I've had coffee, but I've only had good coffee once.
Speaking of,
other than that, I hate it.
Things that we eat that we're definitely not supposed to eat, I bought some Takis today and I ate the whole bag.
I bought some Sour Patch Kids and I ate the whole bag.
I buy things all the time and eat the whole bag.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be so messed up tomorrow. I'm gonna feel so sick.
I ate two spicy crispy chicken sandwiches from Popeyes. It was very good.
I've never even eaten Popeyes.
And I had an apple pie with it.
Popeyes is pretty good. Let me. How much is a bucket of popcorn chicken? Can you even get a bucket of popcorn chicken at KFC?
Probably, but I don't go to KFC, so I wouldn't know. I've been there a total of 2 times in my life, and I've also been to Popeyes a total of 3 times in my life, and that was recently.
Yeah, no, the closest thing I've eaten is Chick-fil-A. And they were all right.
Now, I know my microphone can't pick it up, but right now, simultaneously, fireworks and my sprinklers went off.
All right. We'll do an open-ended question here, and then we can close up. So I have an open-ended question for you guys, just something to get you thinking about. If you had an infinite budget and you could create a reality TV show, what would you make happen?
If we had an infinite budget?
Right. What kind of reality show would you make, Justin?
Oh God, it has to be a reality show, doesn't it? I want to make a sitcom. To be reality.
I would. You know what? Fuck it. I'd make something like Jerry Springer, and then just make it Jerry Springer.
Is that a talk show?
No. Wait, or is it? I think it's Jerry Springer, the one where you are not the father.
Oh, yeah.
What if I made a fake reality show about fandom characters, like the most popular character from their respective fandom? We get, oh God, Tumblr Sexy Men, the reality show. We get the Onceler. We get Alistair the Radio Demon. We get Bill Cipher. We get Sans the Skeleton. We put them all in a room together.
So I have a very good idea. Listen. We have them play a game, right? And a game for money, of course, right?
Okay, what is it?
Like
Monopoly?
a Family Feud type game, right? And at the end, actually, you know what? It's exactly like Family Feud, just if they tie, they fight.
Okay. So a reality show where you get families together and they do Family Feud, and then if they tie, they just fight, what, to the death?
Yep, the family fights.
Well,
mother against mother, son against son.
If I was to make a reality show, I think I'd take a bunch of relevant people at the time. So whoever's really getting attention right now, we just had the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul stuff, so I'll pull in Logan Paul, or some movie that just came out. Justin, what movie just came out? Give me an example.
I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, you know what? Screw it. We take Adam Sandler and Logan Paul, alright, and then we grab a handful of YouTubers, we grab a handful of streamers on Twitch, and we grab a handful of actors, alright? Just a bunch of people who are relevant. We put them all in a house together, and they just it's like one big fucking collateral damage contest. They just break as much as they possibly can.
I'm still rooting for Tumblr Sexy House.
No, I think I'd like to see a bunch of people just break shit in a room for 20 minutes.
Isn't that what fucking Destroy, Build, Destroy was? Ugh.
I don't even remember that.
actual
The
relevant
CN
people.
Real era. We can talk about that next time, but oh my god.
Alright, well,
I feel
mean,
like that would be the best idea.
what,
Like, 100%. If we got out and got like everybody who was there, like anybody who was relevant, set them up, do a whole bunch of different questions and activities and stuff. You could do a lot with it.
oh,
You could do it
dude,
like a-
what if
kinda
what
like
if
a
you
big-
put them in like
we could-
teams, right, and found out which
Yeah, like
medium
a-
was the best, streaming, videos, or television? Like, what if it was a war between
right.
what was the best form of entertainment? Fuck, get musicians in there too. Get
Yeah.
get poppin' musicians
you could
up
do
in there
you
too.
could do like
I just
a
remembered
Big
that
Brother
Tony
thing
the
or something
Talking
like that.
Clock was a Tumblr sexy man. The clock character from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared was a Tumblr sexy man.
His name is Tony.
Yeah,
He
apparently.
has a name. What were you saying, Justin?
If we grab everybody and we kind of do it like a Big Brother scenario or something like that, where everybody's up in like different houses on different teams and they compete for
Dude,
like
that would
do, like
be
different
lit.
mini games and stuff.
I'd like to
see
see how
which team
somebody
comes
like
out on
Johnny
top.
Depp would interact with somebody like Markiplier or something, you know, just like, or even take the most basic people in the world. Oh my god, wait, no. Here's the dream scenario, alright?
Oh my god,
have-
no.
Yeah, cut me off just as I
listen,
cut Justin off.
listen.
Go ahead.
Pay a famous YouTuber, a la Markiplier, like $1 million to spend a year with
$1 million.
just a random fan. A random fan gets to live with Markiplier for like a year, and they film the
I don't-
whole thing and put
That
it on
would
TV.
just
I don't
be-
think that's
That
legal.
would that would just suck.
It is if they
The
pay
invasion of
Markiplier to let this
privacy.
guy live
Man.
in his house.
No,
Why
what
he
would be
do
fun
that?
about watching like a 28-year-old man and in Markiplier just sitting there eating cereal? I wouldn't want to
Right.
watch that.
I
No,
don't
I'll tell you the
know.
kinds of reality shows I like are the ones where it's really
Have-
melodramatic and people are always yelling at each other about things that don't matter.
But what
Have
if
you
it got to
seen-
that point? What if they picked some really obsessed, creepy-ass fangirl to live with Markiplier for a year? Like,
The odds would be 90 to 10. That would most likely be the case, but it wouldn't make sense. That's not something that could realistically happen.
So, do you guys both know who Corey X Genshin is?
no,
Yeah, I don't have a lot of respect for him, but I know who he is.
I don't know who that is.
You have a lot of respect for him. What do you not like about him?
I just don't like his whole deal, man. He feels too kid friendly for me. I shouldn't have said that I don't have respect for him. I just don't like his content.
Yeah, I didn't watch him as much either. I know a lot of my friends do. I don't watch him, but I know he just hit 10 million, which means he's retiring from YouTube or whatever.
I also
so I
just
didn't know
don't.
if you know anything about it.
I also just don't really watch people play games anymore these days.
I don't either, man. I can't do it.
Like
I
I've
can't
got
watch
I've got
stuff
enough
like that.
games myself to last me the rest of my life. I don't need to watch other people play them anymore.
Right.
I
really.
watched the fan dub of Sally Face before I bought the game and played it.
That
I
was dumb.
don't care for Sally Face. The art is really ugly.
I've never heard of it.
It's one of those point and click solve the puzzle story games. Not really a choice game, but it is very heavily dependent on story. Like you're playing the game for the story, not the puzzles.
Justin, I opened us up. You can give us little closing remarks here.
You said what?
I said since I opened us up, you can give us little closing remarks.
Well, I guess we're done here. I mean, we talked about a lot of good stuff.
My God, you're
I don't-
terrible.
I-
All right,
I
so
can't-
I'll just take the reins here. Thanks for watching Mistopical Podcast. This is the only one so far, and hopefully it gets out at all. But I mean, if you like this, then I guess wait a little
Hopefully it
while.
gets-
Who knows how long it'll be until we get the next fucking one out. Thanks. See ya.